Moves his hands, helmet high snap, sticks it in his gut. He's going to carry it himself, makes a man miss near the goal line, and he's in. He dives right across the bottom of the orange M, and Martin, spelled out in orange and white trim, and in that navy blue end zone, DJ Williams finds pay dirt, and with 11:35 to go in the opening quarter, back to the near right hip, he motions out from right to left. Williams looks to his left, comes back right, pocket collapsing, rolling near right side. He's going to try to throw it. He does downfield. McCray's got it. Stays on his feet 30. Below the near numbers 20. Six arms a man 10. Down to the 5. Reaches across the pylon. And he is in. Touchdown. Touchdown SIU. With 11:07 to go. The return here for UT Martin. Halen waits, and now he's just going to keep it, and it's a fake, and he's got the first down and more. Halen above the Skyhawk logo 50, goes far sideline 45, still in the UT Martin territory, and a little bit of a late shove. Saluki's trying to swarm Paul Halen, and man, how about that fake for number 19? He can do it all, the Netherlands native. Big time fake punt by Paul Halen.
He just waited and waited and then noticed that everybody had turned around.
Inside Saluki Athletics, the official coaches show of Saluki Athletics. Now, here is the voice of the Salukis, Luke Martin.
We welcome everybody inside here to the Wells Production Studio with the head coach, Nick Hill. I am Luke Martin. It's a big week here in Carbondale. It's the war for the wheel. SEMO upcoming this weekend, but there's plenty of positive stuff to recap as well with head coach Nick Hill as the Salukis beat UT Martin over the weekend. Eric Moore is going to join us. We won't mention too much that he is a former Red Hawk player, but now on Coach Hill's staff. Jeremiah McClendon is going to stop by as well. And then, man, Anthony the Shooter, he's been off to a terrific start for Saluki men's golf. Him and head coach Justin Fetcho will stop on by to chat with us as well. But as each and every week, it's Coach Hill to start us off. Coach, congratulations. Road wins are so hard to get, and even more so when you're going up against really good competition in UT Martin. I know their record doesn't reflect it right now, but I think everybody's going to look back at the end of the year and see that team get on a roll, and we won't be surprised. But, man, your team really took care of business on Saturday night.
Yeah, proud of the guys and just their approach to the game. Just we've got to do that consistently throughout the entire season as far as just showing up, being ready to go, playing our style of football whenever, however we've got to do it. And the approach was right, and then the guys went out there, and a lot of positives on that tape.
You talk about approach all the time, and look, that's kind of what's the biggest importance of with you guys. It's not so much of necessarily what happens on Saturday. It's the lead up from everything from Sunday all the way through the game. Is there really anything you can pinpoint to our fans that they don't get to see each and every day that you do see each and every day that you really cherish about this group specifically and just how they handle their business day to day?
Yeah, I mean, we've got a good group of guys that are committed to doing things, the right way. Nobody's perfect. It's always a work in progress, right? And just getting a group of young men to believe in, for me, I think over the time, I'm 40 years old now, play as a player and then as a coach, there's just the only effect that you can have on how do you get to play well on game day is how you prepare, right? Your mindset, just the details. Like I told them, I mean, like how you do one thing, if you're not disciplined or detailed in a lot of different areas in your life, you can't expect that you're going to be detailed for all 75 plays in a game. Like you might for, 65 of them, but it's those 7 that you just kind of let. And so, like, we just have to get concentrated on becoming a great team. It's not 12 Saturdays in the year that you get to become a great team. It's all those other days, and then Saturdays are when you can go cut it loose and get to show the fruits of your labor.
Look, 37-10 may look like on paper of, man, how could it go any better? But I think the best thing, especially for you guys as a group, you go back and look, and, man, there were still a lot of missed opportunities out there on the field. And as much as maybe that can be a frustrating feeling, at the same time, that's got to be an optimistic feeling when you meet with your team of, look, guys, there's still a lot of things out there that we can clean up.
Yeah, there's going to be, with our schedule, every game, right? You're not going to go through every series and it's just like, man, that was a perfect game, right? That there's not a punt in the game. Hopefully we find some games that everything seems like it's clicking and goes well. Those games happen, but got to be prepared for when they don't. And so, yeah, I mean, there for a while, like, we got to play good team football, and we did that. As far as we turn the ball over, our defense gets stops, our defense gets the ball back, our defense creates turnovers. We didn't let, one, momentum play for them turn into multiple momentum plays, and on the road you've got to be able to do that. And so, good team football, right? All aspects of the game. Special teams had a huge role in that win, and the defense just continuing to make teams work and earn it, tackling well. We just got to continue to do that, and I say that all the time. Like what we did last Saturday, we can build on those positives. That will help you, but you got to start over 0-0. You got to go out there and re-earn each Saturday.
Telling you, a guy who has kept re-earning it each and every Saturday for you is Colin Bohannon. And I didn't really quite understand until I was looking through my spot board that I put together each and every week for you guys in the broadcast, and I realized how many games he's played. And I'm like, he's got to be up there in career tackles among active leaders. And to see that he is 8th among everybody in college football in terms of tackles, 305 career tackles among active players right now, 3rd in FCS. Man, that speaks volumes about what he has done his career. And it's not like just a few of those have come here now. I mean, he's put in a lot of work for you here in Carbondale after his time at EIU.
There's no doubt. I mean, consistency. I tell our guys all the time, and it's not like a big, wow, like that's how you describe a player, but consistency is a superpower. I mean, you hear a lot of phenomenal elite people just talk about, Kobe Bryant's and these guys, Tiger Woods, about just consistently showing up and understanding what you're going to give and what the expectations are. Like Colin has a high expectation for himself, and he does that day in and day out. Like he's consistent in his approach, he's consistent in his play. There's no worries about what you're going to get from Colin Bohannon on day-to-day, whether it's practice or it's out there in the game. Or I think where just the ultimate respect was last year, game 2. He played in one game for us last season, and it was consistent in his rehab. It was consistent in knowing the game plan. I mean, this is a guy that we put the headset on once, through the rest of the season and traveled him, because then he knows the game plan. He's in every meeting. He's not even going to play in the game. And so I think it just speaks volumes to what type of guy he is.
You think of your defense through the first 3 games of the year. There's only 2 sacks to be accounted for, which that could maybe be manipulated, that maybe you're not affecting the quarterback as much as you would like. But also sacks aren't the end-all, be-all. How would you assess the defense, and especially those linebackers and that front 7, which you guys feel really good about? How have you been able to affect the quarterback in different ways through 3 weeks?
Yeah, I think it's the same, kind of last week, like we didn't have a lot of rushing attempts, right? And then we have 39 rushing attempts. Each game is going to be a story of its own. We'll get home on quarterbacks. Really, I think our defensive line could have been, we give out players of the week, but the entire unit of doing their job, playing physical. We played 11 different guys up front. I think 8 of them had over 10 snaps in the game. Rotating the expectation that the next guy goes in. We haven't seen a ton of just drop back pass, right? In week 1 they didn't much, and then we played with the lead and some under center runs and play actions and bootlegs, but it wasn't sitting back there in the pocket, and then Purdue just probably let a couple go. We could have closed on a couple more sacks, but there'll be a time and a place that comes into play where those guys will get those things down. No doubt, DJ is a huge chunk of what you guys are doing offensively to this point, but Saturday was such a huge step forward for your running game as a whole. Yes, DJ had the chunk of those rushing yards, but Coach, for you guys to have 273 total rushing yards, that's the most you've had in a single game since 2021. That's a long time. You guys do different things offensively that basically impact in terms of what's a running game. It's not always the traditional hand it back to your tailback, but it was an area you brought up with us after the game. You really like the trajectory of a Chandler Chapman, what Eddie Robinson is doing. Lim Wash, of course, has had good productivity when he's been there, and everybody knows what Shady brings from his experience level. That's a room that looks like it's getting better as your year's going along. Yeah, and I think if you're a team watching, there's plays that we probably left out there in the run game that could have went for more, and that's a progression too of those guys continuing to be better. Obviously, with DJ's ability to run the football. So I think it's just you've got to take the game plan like we continue to talk about, like what's the plan to win, and do we need to run it 30 times? Is it a game that we need to throw it? How do we match up with these guys in the box, or what's their philosophy on stopping, or what's their plan to win? How are we going to attack that? And so you got to be built for them all right? And you can't just win games that, hey, the stars align on this game plan, and so I think we have the personnel to be able to do that with our tight ends, our backs, and our wide receivers, quarterback that can be a dual threat guy. And so we just got to continue to do a good job as a whole. We've got to do a good job of a staff putting together the plan and putting our guys in good positions.
Collectively, it takes a group effort to be prepared. It's not just one individual. It's everybody on that defense or offense, how you scout a team. You knew you had to be prepared for Team Martin in terms of the different looks they could give you offensively, and I like the trick play that they went for. You guys are ready for it, and Vinny Pierre gets a pick in back-to-back weeks. Colin really kind of led on to us post-game. He's like, I'm so proud of Vinny, because he's like, I don't know if there was a guy that Meade Smith was harder on in the offseason to see them get pushed the way he has and to really come out on the other side of it. We spent a lot of time, I think, in our interviews talking about guys like Vinny in this way. That's what has to be just such a joy for you right now. I don't want to answer it for you, but, man, when you get to coach guys and you get to see them on days where you're going to challenge them, and, man, after you challenge them, to see them come on the other side of that, like that has to be one of the most euphoric feelings that you can have as a coach, to see a guy go through that and see Vinny performing like he is now.
Well, I just feel like that's what college football is all about. It's coming in as a young man, a kid, and then maturing and getting better and showing growth on and off the field. Then he came here when he was 17 years old, and so he wasn't an adult. And he still has room to grow. But then he sees, like, man, then his grade report comes out, and he's got his best grades that he ever has. And when they start to, like, click of like, okay, how I do everything, one thing's how I'm going to do them all. And then I start to get some results on the field, and then you see, like, now, hopefully, as that trajectory goes, he's going to carry that on into life too, And so there's no secret. I mean, it's a developmental game. I keep saying that. Everybody wants to speed up that. Everybody has a different timeline on how they get there. But Vinny's a perfect example of that. All of us. I mean, he was a guy that was on a lot of lists. He'd be probably the first to tell you a lot of breakfast clubs, a lot of misdemeanors as far as just, beyond time. Just the routine things of getting used to college. And then it started to click, and he's older, and so and then the play is he's been detailed. I think both safeties are that. I mean, we give out a Be a Man award as well as our Players of the Week, and C.J. Parsons 2 weeks ago was that, and that's the first time he's ever won that award. But his maturity and his it's completely different. He's always been a talented player, but just the approach to the days and the practices and the game days and how he is on the sideline, and now he's playing at elite. He had a couple open field tackles that could have been explosive plays, but guys were getting on the ground, and that's a credit. Coach Braun is their position coach, and he's done a great job with those guys.
No doubt you need the athletic skill, right? And I was talking to CJ today at practice actually about this way. I said, man, I'm really proud of you because you can clearly tell you're not getting in your own way. And I said, and he's like, no, you're absolutely right. And he said that multiple times throughout fall camp. I mean, when you coach guys, look, you're going to play a really good team in SEMO this weekend. There's going to be a lot of good teams that you're going to play throughout the year, and you tip your cap when they make a tremendous play on you. But a lot of times your biggest person in your own way can be your own self. And to see CJ go down the game, come right back in, get right in the thick of it, another guy that's just been like, man, it's so much fun to see him not just make the progressions on the field, but it's progressions in every part of his aspect.
Yeah, no, I mean, just going back to the same thing, that as a coach, right, and then wins come along with that when guys buy into that. And we've got some guys on our team that I've had these conversations with in the last 10 days of, you know, you are going to be one of those guys. Like, you think that these coaches and people are on you all the time, and then you're going to reflect back in like 6 or 8 years. And I mentioned that, like, when some past players have came back the last couple weeks, and it's like one day you're going to be 35 or 40, you're going to come back and you're going to see a guy that's just like you, freshman, and you wish you could go back and tell them, like, hey, they're on you for a reason, right? Listen to them. Like, they want what's best for you, and then you're going to start to play better. And so it's fun when you see those guys. But it's a progression. We could all go take ourselves back to when we're 18, 19 years old in college and be like, wow, you know what I mean? Like, I wasn't very mature. What was I doing? What was I wearing? What was I saying? What was I, you know what I mean? Like, conversation. Like, it's just part of life, and you got to grow up.
The best part is when your guys right now, they're like, man, I feel like I'm 40. And it's like, wait till you're 40.
Yeah, for sure. Right. I know that feeling.
All the bumps and bruises that they're taking right now. We'll get you out of here on this note. What has it meant to you that since you and Coach Tuke started the wheel, that the winner of this game has made the postseason each and every year since 2018? Of course, the history of this game goes way back deeper than just the wheel. But to know since that has been installed, man, it just seems like, yes, you got the rivalry trophy. That's all great. But it's clear that, hey, the winner of this game also has gone on to the postseason and had a great year.
Yeah. I think we'd both agree that I hope there's a year that we both make the playoffs, and because there's been some good teams. So, you know, I text Coach Tuke again this year that I was thinking about him one morning coming into work. You know, that's been well documented. As far as our relationships go, I got a ton of respect for him, and I do. I mean, when we they're one of the first scores that I look for. You know, in week 7, we might be on the road wherever we're going this year, and I want to know if SEMO won, and I'm rooting for them. I want them to be a good team. I want this rivalry to be 2 good teams, not just a rivalry because of the schools always play, but it's because there's good games, there's 2 good teams, and so I know what values Coach Tuke preaches and stuff, and so it's been good. And so I don't expect it to be any different this year.
It's always hard to go. Again, we mentioned how hard it is to go on the road. Houck has always been traditionally a tough place to play, especially for the Salukis. But when you look just at his team this year, what do you like about his team that you'll see on Saturday?
Yeah, I like going down there and playing, honestly. Is the same thing. I mean, Coach Tuke's a team that plays hard, plays with great emotion, physical. Again, built a good offensive line that's physical. And, you know, last year probably, you know, with the quarterback, I think Coach Tuke's always going to, like, what's our strengths? They had, you know, they've got really good wide receivers this year. They had a super elite receiver that went to Clemson. It's kind of like K-Lou and him both, you know, on the field last year. K-Lou's starting for Oklahoma, and they have one that's at Clemson. And, you know, they threw the ball a ton last year, and it was crazy to see the stat, like in the playoff game, they threw it 85 times. I think third most ever in a game. And so they're going to put together a plan to win. He does a great job of understanding his team. They've done a great job in this transfer portal era. They've lost players like us, but the nucleus of the team, they have a lot of returning starters, a lot of guys that have played a lot. You see some like redshirt freshmen that you know have come into their program and now are good players that are putting good things on tape. So they're going to be a physically minded team. They're always well disciplined. I always appreciate when you go against them. Like Coach Tuke's not like a, you know, flavor of the month type thing where it's like, let's try this year, let's try this next year. Like he's going to recruit to what he knows and what he does, and like this is proven to win. This is how we do things. And they're going to go out there and execute and play hard. So that's when like we talk about us doing the same thing. We're not going to go out there and try to trick them to win. They're going to watch the tape. This is how they get lined up. This is their strengths. Obviously, there's a chess match in that and doing a few things, try to take advantage of those things. But the team that lines up and takes care of the football, values the football, plays physical, wins the line of scrimmage, those teams have a chance to win the game.
We have Jay Black coming on next, Jeremiah McClendon. Guys call him Jay Black on the team. Man, what have you seen from him this year? Because it seems like we saw that glimpse a year ago. But, man, already I know it's just 3 games, but I feel his presence has no doubt been felt out there on the field.
Yeah, we gave him the player of the week from last week as a coaching staff, and you could get into this story too. I mean, we talked about, CJ and Vinny. Jay Black, the same thing. He hasn't been here as long as those guys. But, he's had a different road to get here, right? And he's finally settled into a place. Sometimes the transfers got to do that too, like just stay in one place and settle in with some routine and get better at your craft. And I think it was last training camp, wasn't playing particularly hard on a couple, and team meeting called him out and told him he's going to be on team 4 quickly if this doesn't change. And there was and then last year was tough on him too, because he was supposed to be ineligible. It wasn't anything of the fault of his own, but a class from FIU, and so he was told he was going to be ineligible. And then I think we missed 1 game, and then it's like, oh, he's eligible, right? And then so he had to speed up. But it was about week 4, week 5 last year where he really started to come on. And then it's him making these extra effort plays. Had a couple punch-outs last year, some just really playing hard, started like towards the end being a starter for us. But it took some growing pains with Jay Black as well. And now it's like, it's Mr. Consistency out there.
No question. Coach, appreciate the time.
All right, appreciate it.
It's going to be a fun one this weekend in Cape Girardeau, and we got plenty more coming up here on the show. Jeremiah McClendon, Jay Black will join us when we come back. As we take a break, you'll see some highlights from the game at UT Martin. This is Inside Saluki Athletics.
Yeah, first I didn't think Jay Black would make it.
Tonight marks the first time SAU is playing in Martin, Tennessee since 1998, and only the 3rd time ever. A series that dates back 99 years ago writes a new important chapter. It's the UT Martin Skyhawks hosting your Southern Illinois Salukis. It's time for Saluki Football. Seans, helmet high snap, sticks it in his gut. He's going to carry himself, makes a man miss near the goal line, and he's in. He dives right across the bottom of the orange gym at Martin, spelled out in orange and white trim, and in that navy blue end zone, DJ Williams finds pay dirt. Touchdown, Southern. Pierre grabs the ball and it's picked off. Benny Pierre, skyboard, left his feet as he celebrates down that far sideline. Going near right side, he's going to try to throw it. He does downfield. McCrae's got it. He's on speed 30. Ball over to numbers 20. Slips under the man 10. Down to 5. Reaches across the pylon. And he is in. Touchdown, Coyote. To his left. Now he's going to run it. Goes to the far numbers 10 to the 5. He's going to walk into that end zone. DJ Williams with another rushing touchdown. It's his 2nd rushing touchdown of the night. It's his 3rd touchdown accounted for in the game. Williams awaits the snap. Snap, helmet high. Design quarterback run to his right. Cuts back middle of the field. He's on his feet. He's in. He streaks across. That's going to do it. Saluki knock off the Skyhawks for the 9th time in program history.
Fellas, great job, right? Business trip coming down here. It took everybody, right? You'll have your breakout game, and some days it's the other, and you celebrate it the same when you're in here, man. It's hard to win. It's hard to win games on the road, right? That's one right there.
We continue with Inside Saluki Athletics as Saluki Football. Big win at UT Martin. And a big reason why they were able to get the big win is because of this big guy, Jay Black. Jeremiah McClendon joins us here inside the Wells Production Studio. Jay Black, thanks for taking time, man. How's your Tuesday going so far?
My Tuesday going good. Just finished up with practice, lift, and then some treatment, so I'm doing pretty good.
You know, we tried to get the setup like your Twitch streams, with all of your games, man.
Yeah.
So we tried to get the microphones, all that to work where we can be up to
Yeah.
your level, man.
Come on now. A little better than my Twitch stream.
Well, now, we appreciate it, but, we'll try to pub that some. Man, you have a tremendous story, and we'll get into your personal background in a moment, but How would you assess your year to this point on the field, Jeremiah?
I feel like I've been playing good, playing great. I ain't gonna say good, I'm gonna say great. I mean, I've been playing some football, and I feel like this is the best I done played. Just me playing ball, playing with my teammates, them allowing me to make plays, them doing their job, which is allowing me to make plays, has just been great.
What do you credit that to?
Defense, the defensive coordinator, the play calls, and just me a lot, like Coach Prawn and Coach Moore allow me to be in that boundary and just to play that number one receiver and just play that short side of the field and just play that where the quarterback is looking to go to, like that go-to play, that go-to player, and like me playing that one-on-one matchup.
Coach Hill was very direct with you early last year, and he was actually just telling the story a segment ago. There were a couple team meetings early in fall camp where he called you out in terms of your effort, and man, it is a completely different feel when we see you out there. But take us through just that time period of when you were pushed, when you were challenged. What got you through it to ultimately be here today and not leave?
Like you say, Coach Hill calling me out, like telling me like you're gonna have to be that guy. It's been practices where we had 3 corners in practice. Jay Black, you're taking all the snaps today. We're gonna need you. Game 14, the playoffs, long down in the season. Like we're gonna need you. You have to push through it. You have to be that guy. You have to be that person that we can count on when it comes down to it.
This year, you guys as a defensive unit, give credit to everybody, as you just said, but like what's really led you guys to play so united as 11? And whether it's the starting unit that you're a part of or even guys who come in as reserves, you guys play together, it seems, very, very well through the first 3 games of the season. What's led to that, Jeremiah, through the practices as you've gone through this season? Like, how close are you guys? It's shown that on the field.
I mean, this defense right here, like this group of guys, we're close. And I feel like since fall camp came around, we went through fall camp, like we told ourselves like this is what we're gonna do. We're playing for we're playing for each other, and like we day by day, every snap we tell each other like we doing this for you. Look to the person to your right, look to your left, like we doing this for you. And then like little stuff that we've been doing, like just been telling each other like this our story, like who we do it for, stuff like that we've been doing as a unit. Like I feel like that's bringing us closer and like understanding each other and what we're here for, like what that person is here for and what we plan for.
Now, of course, you one of 11 on defense, and look, that's a lot of guys. But when you talk about your personal life, I mean, you're one of 14 siblings, I believe. I mean, you got your own football family in terms of siblings, even more. Just kind of for Saluki Nation that haven't followed your story, I mean, kind of go into just how big your family is, how many siblings you have, and how close-knit you are to your family.
I got a big family. I mean, I got a big family. My mom had like 7 kids. My dad had 8. And then like my aunt, I was raised by my aunt, which is like I call her my mom too. She had 4 kids herself. So like that's a big family. I grew up in a household full of girls. We had boys, but it was majority girls, which is 13 girls,
Wow.
4 boys.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm the youngest out of all my regular siblings, but with my auntie kids included, I'm the second youngest. I have a little brother / cousin that I got. And I'm close with all of them. I talk to them on a daily. I mean, all of them push for me. I communicate with all of them. A few of them, they come to games. I just had my cousin come to the last game. Even like without my family, like they're so supportive of me. They've been with me the whole way. I just feel like that's what pushed me also, like seeing that support and love that they give me, and like being the youngest, the last one really out of all my siblings. Like I'm trying to find a way to change the way we live, change the way we can better our future in life.
Now, I only had one older brother, but I was the youngest, and I can only imagine, I thought I got a lot of crap being the youngest of just one. Like, man, I can only imagine what you went through, Jay Black.
It was hard. It was hard, man. It was hard, but they pushed me a lot, but not only pushed me, but they pushed me, raised me into a great man.
Let's, one of the other areas I know that you take a lot of pride in, and as you should, right? Everybody should in this way, is being a father as well. What has, I've asked, so many, on our basketball team, Prince and Rollins, of course, they're both brothers. And I said, man, what's it like having a brother on the team, how does that make you a better teammate, knowing literally one of your siblings is with you? For you, my question is, how has being a father really helped you be even a better teammate to your brothers that are within the locker room now?
Like me being a better father with them, I mean, like they're great. Like they're like, even my roommates, even players on the team, they love him. Like every time he come up here, where they ask me when he's coming. Like a few teammates just ask me like when he's coming back up here. They ready to see him. I mean, they treat him like he's just like he's a special dude. Like and I appreciate him so much, and like that just like bring me closer to them. Like just to see the type of guys we have on our team. Like they care for my son as much as I do. Like and that's just something that like I can come here and like go to battle with these guys. They care for my son like he's family himself. And then when he gets here, they show him the tremendous amount of love. They pick up the football with him. They don't put down the football. Whatever he want to do, they let him do with him. But it's his show when he here.
All right, what's the like proudest dad moment you've had to this point?
Oh man, that's kind of tough.
I'm sure there's a lot of moments.
The proudest one, I can say. Recently, like every Saturday, he watched TV. He watched the games. And he'd be like, "That's Daddy right there."
That's cool.
Yeah, that right there. That's a big proud one for. And he knows it's me. Like it's that Daddy. Like they send me videos of him like, "Go Daddy, go," stuff like that. When they show me on the stream and stuff like that. Yeah.
Now he needs to see Daddy get a pick.
Yeah.
You know, I know we talked about that a lot at practice. You know, that's going to come here at some point for Jeremiah McClendon. All right, let's look towards this weekend in SEMO. You guys, again, took care of business over the weekend against UT Martin. Rivalry games are what make college football special, man, especially at this level, and it gets amped up even more when you add in a rivalry trophy. For you, what is it just like as a player to enter into these type of games and what it means to play in very competitive, fiery environments like you're going to be in Cape Girardeau on Saturday?
I mean, like this probably like my first rivalry game I ever played in. And like just looking back at the history, I was here last year.
You didn't get to play though, right?
Yeah. Looking at the game last year, like the atmosphere, the game, it was intense. It was fire. Like we just knew it was a rivalry game just by how we came to play, like how they came to play, how we came to play. And I feel like this weekend, like it's going to be a great one. Like we're coming, we're going to give it everything we have. We go lay on the line. This is going to be a great. We're not only playing for us, but we're playing for that will.
We got Coach Moore coming in. He played his undergrad there at SEMO. He was not a part of a wheel game yet. The wheel came in 2018, a little bit after his playing days. But I get to see it each and every day when I'm out there with you guys. What has he brought to your room and to the position group as a defensive back that you feel has helped not just set you up for success this year, Jeremiah, but to set up the room?
He walk every morning. It's like he never have a down moment. He's always he's him. Like in the morning, every morning he asks me like, Jay Black, what is it gonna take for you to have a great practice day? What is it gonna take today for to have as a group, the Jack boys to have a good practice day? Like, and it's not only that, like his energy is high. He's never low. He's high. He's always wanting the best with us, teaching us the best techniques, and he just treat everybody the same, no matter what it is. You can have a bad day. As soon as you walk in his office, it's like the aura just change in the room when you walk in.
Sometimes he dances a little bit too out there on the field.
Yeah.
Now, do you have better dance moves than Coach Moore?
Yeah, of course. I don't show him, but
you know, he's getting ready to come in here, so he may be debating that on the other side of this.
He knows the Florida boys got him.
Yes, no question. Man, it's been so much fun to watch you this year. Congrats on all the success to this point, but hey, it's still early. There's a lot of football left, and looking forward to this Saturday, Jeremiah.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Luke.
Once again, that was Jeremiah McClendon. We're going to take a time out here on the show. When we come back, we'll see what Coach Moore has to rebuttal his player, Jeremiah McClendon. You're watching Inside Saluki Athletics.
My name's Penny Warner. I play for SIU Soccer, and I'm a forward. So with my dad coaching college football, I moved around a lot, but the last place that I lived was Pearland, Texas. I'd probably say like when I was around like 7 or 10, my parents, they put in a lot for me to play soccer, and we couldn't really afford like me being able to play soccer, so I saw my parents sacrifice a lot, and after me seeing that, it just made me realize that I had to go all the way through with this. Obviously, me not playing college soccer affected me with my recruiting process, so I had to go to the junior college route, and obviously with me moving around a lot of different places, I was always the new kid, and coaches weren't as likely to take a chance on me because they knew nothing about me, and most of the teams had already been established. Always earned, never given. That's kind of a quote that I live on, and I've learned that a lot through soccer and just in life in general, is that you need to work hard for everything and that nothing's ever just going to be given to you. My father actually played here at SIU. Both my parents are SIU alum, and I wear the number 21, and my father wore that when he went here, and he left a legacy here and did a lot of things to shock the program. And if you ask anybody around here, they know who Lightning Larry is. So it's really big to me to also rep the 21 with the Saluki on my back, and hopefully, you know, being able to set the records and do everything, or even more than that my father did. I feel like success is just accomplishing the things that I guess you would want for yourself, like whatever your goals are, and if you're able to achieve them, then that is success. I feel like success is different upon everyone, and it's not just a one-dimensional kind of thing. It can look different for everybody. So I feel like if you're accomplishing the things that you want to do, then you're succeeding in life. The SIU alumni are very supportive. The Alumni Association actually, they host a lot of dinners and events for people in my major, and I actually ended up going to one, and I was able to connect with a dentist that had retired and was in town, so it was really cool to hear that perspective.
We welcome everybody back to Inside Saluki Athletics. Current corners coach for Saluki Football, Eric Moore, drops by to talk to us. We just had Jeremiah McClendon on, who just really casts a lot of shade on this guy, especially when it comes to some of his dance moves that we get to see at practice. Coach Moore, I know this week probably brings a lot of special feelings for you, with you, of course, spending your undergrad days at SEMO, now, of course, coaching here at SIU. You've been a part of this rivalry game as a player on the other side.
Oh, yeah.
What are the feelings like now getting into it as a coach heading into this weekend?
Totally different, right? Totally different from the colors I'm wearing to the position I'm in, right? Last time for me, I was a player wearing the opposite colors. This time, coaching it. So still the excitement is still there, being a part of it, but totally different, right? I don't have to go out there and take any snaps, but just the excitement on the game, the guys around the program, everyone getting excited for the game. It's really nice to see it from the other side. And it's really nice to be in the position we're in and to go over there and, you know, hopefully get a W and do this thing the right way.
There is so much history between these two programs that doesn't involve the wheel. You didn't get a chance to be a part of it. It was after you left and graduated from SEMO.
Yes.
But as a former player who has played in this game, how neat is it now to see that there is a rivalry trophy up for grabs?
Oh, I like it. I like it. I mean, my wife and I, before I actually took the job here at SIU, like, this was a game that we weren't missing. I mean, if I'm on the bus and I'm texting my wife the score of the game when we're watching on ESPN, or if we're both at home because we had a home game or didn't have a game that week and we're watching it. It's big for us. It was important to us. We really enjoyed once they put a trophy with the game. I mean, before it was just a hard-fought, very physical game with a lot of bragging rights on it. Now you have a trophy, and I think that's very neat. Didn't have the trophy in my playing career, you know, when we didn't have the wheel, but we did play at Busch Stadium. We did do that.
Against Mike Pruitt.
He lit us up. He lit us up that day, actually.
Did you remind him of that when you saw him a couple weeks ago?
A little bit. So I think I would have played against Mike. I believe it was 2, maybe 3 years. I know for sure my freshman red shirt here, I didn't play. We traveled to this game because it's a rivalry game. It's 50 minutes. So even if you didn't play, we traveled to this game. And I got a chance to see Mike Pruitt when I was there, a red shirt on the sideline, and then again in Busch Stadium. So it was definitely awesome to see.
Again, you can give the unique perspective of, you know, Coach Tuke, of course, Coach Hill when he was here at Southern, and you, of course, got to play for him as he was starting to come into SEMO. What do you respect most about him as a coach from when you played for him, and now, of course, being the coaching business, you see it from a different hat and a different angle?
Well, I tell a lot of people, Coach Tuke taught me a lot of football, playing for 2 staffs. I was there with Coach Samuel, and then when Coach Tuke came in for that 2014, really end of 2013 year, going into that 2014 year, I mean, it's just just taught us a lot of football culture, just coming in, preaching brick by brick. So really focusing on the process. So, I mean, he's taught me a lot in that regard from football, and also just understanding, focus on the process. Don't look at the scoreboard, just focus on what's in front of you, stack great plays, and then at the end see what happens. But that process driven he has, that was something that he definitely brought to SEMO when I was there at the time.
You talked about the process driven. Where in kind of your coaching style do you develop stuff and you go, man, that's a lot like Tuke?
Yeah, it definitely happens.
Yeah.
It definitely happens. I always think with all the staffs I've been on, coached on, and as a player, the coaches I've been around, I always like to think that I'm like, you know, I'm just like a big old melting pot of them, of all the
Yeah.
coaches I've been around. And, you know, I've tried to take some of the good and tried to, you know, leave some of the bad that I didn't necessarily want to take with me. But being process driven is definitely something that I take pride in, and I've seen it work for you to get the results you want. So definitely something that I definitely kind of inherited from him a little bit.
Look, I want to dive into your position room, and there are a lot of guys who are playing at a high level, and one of them just came in here, and Jeremiah McClendon.
Yep.
You haven't necessarily seen his full progression here
Yeah.
because you weren't here last year, but man, what you've seen of him has been really high. What do you see day to day with him that allows for him to, and I say allow, but more earn his success on Saturdays from what you see day to day?
Well, it's the work. It's the work. I mean, for us, you can't dodge hard work. No matter what goal you want to reach, you're going to have to meet hard work at some point or some time. You got to have a plan, and you got to have the right mindset, but you've got to be willing to put the work in. And I think the combination of all three of those things is the reason he's having some success right now. But I think the biggest reason is the work that he's putting in. I mean, Tuesday practice, you're out there, you can see when we're splitting things up and we're going, you know, scouts and things like that, like it's a mindset. It's not, you know, we're not allowing catches on, you know, and guys on scouting, we're not allowing them guys to catch the ball. It's just a mindset. And then it's the work. You've got to put the work in, and overall you got to have a plan on being successful. So when we start talking about the techniques that we're going to, you know, have Jay Black, have Jeremiah, the things we're going to have him repping, we got to have a plan on how we want to get that rep. Hey, have a plan on, hey, this right here didn't look as good as we wanted to look last week. Let's put a little bit more time on that. Hey, this week, you know, we're not going to focus on this coverage as much, so let's put this one on the back burner and let's focus. So having a plan, putting the hard work in, are definitely the big key factors.
Knew during camp that Gavin Shepard was going to earn an opportunity
Yep.
to play a lot for you this year.
Oh,
And again, he's a guy where you may look at him physically and just go, I don't know if he's going to be a guy that's going to play a lot, you know, with his stature. But man, when he gets out in the field, that dude is just a menace.
Oh, yeah.
You know what do you enjoy most about Gavin's game and what he brings to your room?
Coachable. He's very coachable. He's got really good feet. At the play corner, you got to have really good eyes, good feet, good hands, good eyes. So with Gavin, he's got really good feet, but Gavin is really coachable. He makes a mistake, you fix that mistake, you don't see those show up again on field. And then along with that, just being coached, but another C word, he's consistent. And that right there, when you're playing corner, you got to be very comfortable being on the island. So you got to be consistent in your approach, consistent in your technique. And he's done a great job of that for 3 games. We
Yeah.
got a 12-game season.
No
so
doubt.
the challenge for both of those guys and for everyone in the room is let's do it more than 3 games. We've done a solid job thus far, but let's continue to do this thing so we can look back at the end and say we've done it for a full season.
There are many guys who have come in. You know, Sebastian Vargas, I felt, had one of his better games over the weekend against UT Martin. And even one of the early names, even like an early practice, so many of you guys as coaches are like, Luke, Cam Kason's going to be a good player.
Yeah.
And he's going to end up helping us. And, of course, he gets to pick TMU. He's been able to get there with some really good reps for you guys as well. Like, as you look throughout your room, where have you seen the room as a whole with so many of those other guys that have really stepped up and have been able to are guys that you can rely on at any given time?
Yes, and I think that's the big deal. I mean, the big thing to look at in our room. A lot of guys have done a great job in stepping up. I remember talking early in the season. You know, you got Sebastian and you got Jeremiah. They're the old, like kind of the old heads in the room, the older guys. well, then there's a little bit of a gap because you've got Nas, but then you've got a lot of guys that are freshmen. So I credit that to the leadership of those older guys in the room, you know, the Jeremiah, the Sebastians, doing a great job of showing, not only just talking about it, but being about it, showing the guys how it's done. You know, for us, we want to make sure that we're present, we're early, we're taking notes. We want to truly be students of the game. So when a freshman, 18, 19-year-olds see a 22, 23, see them doing it, they understand what it takes, especially if a guy's out there making plays, kind of like Jeremiah is right now.
Look, it's a question I know you're going to get asked a ton this week as you get ready for Saturday, and it's a question at times I have been asked whenever you go to other places that you've been at before or worked for, or in your case, played for. But I'm sure your answer is very similar to mine when people say, hey, what's it like when you get to the game? The game's really the easiest part because you're getting locked in to what you're doing in terms of Saturday. I mean, I know there's a lot of memories for you at SEMO, but in terms of the work that you do and being a coach, like, honestly, the game's the easiest part. Like, you want to get to the game. It's probably the lead up with so many people that want to come up and say hi to you. That's probably the most difficult part for you on Saturday.
That is, and that is. And for me, my wife knows this. We actually talked a little bit about it last night. And, you know, we were talking before how she's going to head over early and try to eat at some of her old favorite restaurants back when we were in school and things like that. I'm like, go ahead, do it. But I'm not. I mean, I want to get to the game. I want to get to 6 p.m. and I want to play the game because that's what matters most. I think it's great to be in the rivalry again from a different perspective. You know, coaching side of it, and then definitely wearing the different colors. You know, being a dog. But I want to play the game. I want to get to the game. I want to coach the game because for us, you know, this is game 4. So we want to, you know, play this one and kind of, you know, the exact same thing we did with the first 3, you know, assess the game, 24 hours, see where we're at, and then get on to the next one. But we really want to get to 6 p.m., make it happen, and then keep this thing rolling.
Absolutely. We're excited for this weekend, and we're excited to have you, Coach Moore, and it's been great to have you and to see the success that your guys have had on defense. Just keep it rolling this weekend. Got to keep it rolling. It's going to be a fun one on Saturday at Cape Girardeau at Houck Stadium. Of course, we'll have all the coverage for you. But our show's not done yet. Inside Saluki Athletics will continue to roll on when we come back. Man, Anthony DeShooter off to just a red-hot start for Coach Justin Fetcho and Saluki Men's Golf. They both join us coming out of this break. You're watching Inside Saluki Athletics.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. No,
Nation, it's so fun to say these next words in light of this new generation of basketball, so to speak. Damian Mayo, welcome back to Saluki basketball. Great to have you back in the program. How you doing? Let's get first to what are you studying, and where does that degree take you someday?
Hey, I'm happy to be here. Happy to be with you. And I'm studying. My major is industrial management and engineering, and as of right now, I'm in like the later stages, all the 300, 400 classes. So I'm taking all the hardest stuff in my degree. But where it's going to take me, I want to use that degree to get into. I don't know what area yet, but something with like probably like project management or being on like a manager of an assembly line, some supervisor area, something like that, just managing people. That's where I want to ultimately end up. But yeah, I'm almost done. I'm excited.
I think as basketball fans, and especially, and I'll say it again, I hope you're not offended. I'm not. It doesn't bother me. We're in a different era. I mean, it's more professional basketball with the NIL, the ability to go from one place to the next and all that stuff. That's getting all the attention. But back to what you're studying and where it takes you, how much do you have left? What are a couple of your tougher courses? I always got a kick out of the engineering guys we had. I couldn't even pronounce their classes, let alone even think about helping them at all. So what do you have left, and what's maybe some of the biggest hurdles you have to overcome to get that degree?
I can tell you right now I'm in tutoring for physics. So physics is probably one of my hardest classes this year. I'm also taking Lean Six Sigma, and I'm taking Lean Management as well. So there's 2 different classes, but I got a semester and a half left. I'm excited. The classes I'm taking are very challenging, but I feel like the more challenging it is, it's just more of a challenge I can overcome. So I feel like that's the approach I have with school and why I failed to love it. So it's a couple hard classes I've taken. I got a little tutoring thing going, so it's going good though.
Close out inside Saluki Athletics, and who else than Red Hot Anthony Schutter join us here on the show with head coach Justin Fetcho of Saluki Men's Golf. And yes, golf finally underway, getting the season off and rolling, and no better way than being able to win the Wildcat Invitational just the other day. Anthony, Coach, thanks so much for joining us, guys. Welcome on into the studio for the first time.
Thank you for having us here. Yeah, it's exciting to be here, man. That's nice looking studio, man.
It is, yes. You know, it's like we were just talking about. You know, I know you miss the old, nice, comfy green chair, you know, in front of the Saluki backdrop, which, of course, we still have it here, just on the opposite end of the room. But, you know, you like your old ways sometimes,
I do. Yeah,
Coach Fetcho.
Stuck in the old ways, you know, that nice, comfy, this chair, you know.
Yeah. Man, it's got to be fun to see what this guy has been doing and to just get off to just such a great start with the Wildcat invite. Number one, I mean, we saw it a year ago. I mean, we knew what Anthony could do, and I know it wasn't the ending to Anthony's season that he won in the Valley Championship last year, but how has he come back, had a good offseason, and, man, to do an accomplishment that's very rare, really, in Saluki Golf?
I'm in a tough spot because I don't like to compliment him too much, but since he's right here in the room, you know, man, what a start to the season. I mean, really, there's no better way to kick off a season, and you know, you pretty much mentioned it there. Anthony had a solid summer. You know, he wants to be a professional golfer. He's trying to train to be a professional golfer. He's went through that this summer of trying to figure out what that is, and you know, ultimately decided that he was going to come back here and, you know, wanted to win a college tournament. That was one of his goals, and he is already to check that off the list in the first event. But, you know, the thing I think that he's come a long way in, you know, and I said this to the team, was his goal for the event at Kansas State was literally he just wanted to be the most disciplined he'd ever been on the golf course before, picking very good targets, not letting his emotions get the best of him. And lo and behold, when he set that as his goal, then he also happened to just kind of have the icing on the cake of winning a golf tournament by being able to do all that. You know, we talked, there's still some things that he'd like to be able to do even better than that, but he did probably the best he's ever done on the golf course in terms of just being able to control those few things that he's just trying to make his controllables.
Anthony, I know he doesn't like to give you compliments, so take advantage of it here in the moment. But I'm sure that's amazing what it does for confidence. Yeah. Coaches just can be such hard rear ends sometimes. Anthony, but take us through just, you know, kind of what Coach Fetcho was just talking about. You know, I think everyone knows that golf, there is such a mentality key piece to it in what you do each and every day, how you felt going into it, and then ultimately the reason you were able to have success the way you did.
I mean, yeah, I think Coach said it a little bit already. But I mean, I knew the course a little bit before. I obviously was in JUCO for 2 years. I played the course. And what I was kind of struggling with is that I kind of had trouble in the past playing that golf course. I didn't really have good results in the past there. So I was really thinking, like, how am I going to attack this week? How am I going to try and get the best result possible? And then that's when I went up to Coach, and that's when I kind of explained, like, my main goal is no matter what the result is, I want to be able to do the right things. I want to be able to prepare for every shot in the right way. Yeah, and be disciplined. And I feel like that's kind of what dragged me through the week and what kept me in it all week. And that was an amazing feeling. Yeah, that was great.
What was the biggest reason you wanted to come back, Anthony?
I definitely wanted to win a college golf tournament.
Yeah.
I feel like Coach is obviously an amazing coach, and I feel like he helped me out so much last year, like improving in multiple aspects of the game. And I feel like those two things, like what you said, I didn't really have the best finish to my senior year, obviously not what I wanted. So I think there was a little fire brewing in me still, like, hey, I want to come back and do some great things. And then on top of that, like being able to work with Coach for another year. Yeah, those two things were definitely the biggest factors for me.
Coach Fetcho, I'm sure you can build off of this, of Anthony's answer of it could go two ways, right? I mean, there are guys who have some tough endings to the year and just be like, I'm done. You know, I just don't want anything a part of it. It's just going to go away. I think we all knew with the competitor that he is and the talent that Anthony has that wasn't going to happen for him. But as you saw him go through it, what's the biggest joy you get of seeing him have that adversity at the end of the year and now be on the other side of it and hopefully set up for a really fun year for him?
I think what happened at the end was obviously disappointing and heartbreaking after a year like that, right? I mean, he still was able to accumulate all of the individual accolades for such a great season and, went down in history books and his name's on there, and none of those things that you can take away. But like when you're in the moment and you're fighting for your team and you're fighting to win a conference championship individually and as a group that you've been literally just going to workouts, going to practice, talking about it for all year, and to come up in that way, I think deep down it kind of fuels you to he had it. I mean, he had a chance to not come back, right? I mean, he could have played professional golf. He toyed with that. We had several conversations about what that looked like coming back. And I think, like you said, I mean, deep down, he wanted to win individually, but I think he also wanted to come back and he wants to be part of a team that's going to do some very, very special things, and he wants to be a key ingredient in that.
And look, we'll continue to talk about this year and the excitement that's going to continue to come with Anthony and the team, because Anthony not only performed well, your team performed well as well outside of Anthony. But you see what these guys do, each and every day, the work ethic that you have. How hard can it be, and I'm sure there's many words that we can use to describe it as a coach, when you just ultimately that one weekend that everyone has their eyes on, right? You want to perform well in the championship. It didn't happen for him. But it's not because you saw the lead up and you're like, this was clearly coming. It's just one of those things that make it really hard. Like how you handle that, to be that leader for him, and just also, I'm sure, being honest with him, like, it stinks for us too, because we see the work you put in throughout the year to just, unfortunately, on the biggest stage of the year, just not have the result that you wanted.
Right. No, I mean, that's sports and life in general, right? I mean, you can work so hard, you can want it so bad, and sometimes the chips just don't fall the way that you want to, right? I don't think that we went into that week, wanting it any less or wanting it any more. It was just something that we had kind of targeted that said, hey, this is what we want to do, and for whatever reason that week, the stars didn't align for us, and it's tough. I mean, for any sport and in any division, when there's only usually one team that's happy at the end of the year, right? So I mean, it's hard, but I think again, we're trying to use that as a learning moment and as a motivation factor for this coming year, right? We have a lot of returning faces. We also have some new faces, and we're trying to blend all that together. And I mean, he knows even in these practices this week. I mean, we're talking about not just being better for this particular practice or for this particular thing, but being better for the long haul, like learning and growing so that, we are a much different team come April 15th than we are September 15th, right? Like we've grown, we've learned, we've matured, we've figured things out. We're not making the same mistakes. We're doing things better. And I think you're always trying to look toward that, but also trying to stay in the moment and say, you know what, man, we had a solid finish at Kansas State. Now we're trying to prepare to get ready to play the best we can at Wisconsin. But ultimately, all those things are to build to get ready for that important part of the year for us, which, comes in April and May.
Anthony, when you're the guy and you're clearly the number one golfer and arguably could be the number one golfer in this league, how do you carry that weight of just, hey, knowing the expectation that you have? Of course, you were able to show it in the Wildcat Invitational, of knowing, hey, pressure is a privilege, right? Everybody says that a lot, but like how you handle that, because pressure is a privilege, but not everybody can handle it.
I mean, that's a very good question. It's tough because, like, as you said, like, I personally don't really see it as a lot of pressure. I mean, we travel to every event as a team. Like, we're just trying to get the best result as a team. I try to play my part in that. I do believe that when I play my game, that I can get some very good results individually, and that could translate into a great team result. But like I said, I think it's important as any athlete, I think, that you can only focus on the things that you can control, and the pressure and things outside of that are things that you cannot control. You can only control how do you prepare for your event? What mindset do you have when you go in it? And I think every time we play, I try to just focus on those things, the things that I can have an impact on and influence on. And I think those are the most important things. Those are the things that I try to focus on.
If you can't tell, Anthony just loves talking about himself the whole time. So I'm going to keep asking you about yourself. No, let's talk about the team,
Right.
Anthony, around you. From you work with them, you practice with them each and every day.
Yes.
What has you encouraged about what this group can accomplish as a whole this year? And we know the standard. Coach Fetcho's done a tremendous job here of winning the Valley. That's the standard here with Saluki Men's Golf. Still a ways from that being attainable in terms of that's going to be in the spring. But what are all of you working hard right now here in the fall that has you really encouraged as a group?
I mean, I think we do a very great job just working very hard. I think Coach puts together great practices. I mean, I think
Man, look at the compliments to you.
I mean, it is what it is. I mean, Coach works very hard for us. He sets up great practices. It's very tough, but it's. I mean, I feel like it does makes us better. I mean, I think we have a lot of talent on this team. I think we motivate each other with, like, the great results that we were all able to put down. Like, as well, I'm sure we're gonna see a lot of different guys get high up on leaderboards this year. Like the qualifyings that we have, they're very competitive. I feel like we keep each other motivated. We do not want to lose to each other. We want to beat each other. I think we just have a very, very talented group of guys.
Kind of going into the team a bit, Coach Fetcho, obviously Anthony, we're key returner. I know Frank's got experience here, Oliver as well. I think those may be your only three on your roster that have a ton of experience here. Like, go into those that you've brought in to the program and the competition that you've been able to create with this guy, of course, leading the way and setting the standard of what you want each and every time you go out.
You know, just to kind of echo off what Anthony said, I mean, I think we've got a nice blend of players that, you know, I mean, you mentioned we have Anthony, we had Frank, we have Oliver, we had Luke. They all played in the NBC championship for us, right? So all those guys played last year, bringing in some experience, some more than others, right? And then we added some pieces of people that maybe they played collegiate golf elsewhere. We have an incoming freshman, or we have a freshman that, you know, it's his first time, you know, being able to be part of a program and a team. And I think once we've kind of, you know, we're still figuring out who's who, right? We're still trying to figure out what's what in terms of, you know, kind of each person's maybe different role or their dynamic on the team, what they bring, what their strengths, what their weaknesses are. You know, and I think that what I've seen would be exactly what Anthony said. There's a group of hardworking people that, you know, I mean, if practice is from 2 to 5, I can be out there before practice. There's people out there grinding and doing it. When practice is over, they're staying late, they're doing it. You know, the competitiveness is, you know, they're always trying to play against each other, whether it's a qualifying, whether it's something we set up in practice. And I think when you have a hardworking group and a group that competes all the time, and a group that's, you know, internally driven with some high goals, like, we have a chance to have a pretty successful team. We don't want to look, you know, obviously too far ahead. We've only got one result under our belt, but I think, you know, when you look at the whole overall picture of what we have, like, there's a chance for something very special, you know, within this group here. And, you know, I don't say that lightly, because we've had some really good programs and really good people that have been part of some really good programs here, you know, from conference championship wins and playing in the postseason. And I think that we've got a very dynamic roster here, and I think that it's going to be exciting to see all these guys start to gel together. As
you head up to Wisconsin, what you know about the course, the challenges that it's going to present for guys like Anthony next week?
Yeah, you know, we went to Wisconsin last year, but it's going to be at a different golf course this year, so we're trying to figure out exactly what that looks like. We've been doing, you know, our course prep on it, but it looks like, you know, we're going to need to drive it well, and it looks like the greens are a little bit smaller than maybe we've seen in the past, and so I think, you know, we're gonna harness on, you know, driving the ball in practice here over the last little bit, over these next few days before we have to leave, and then we're gonna focus on, you know, short game stuff. We're gonna get our speed on the greens, and we're gonna work on some chipping and just be ready to go, because there's a chance we'll probably miss some greens if they're a little bit smaller, but I do think it's gonna be a scoreable place, and I do think it's gonna be a place where, you know, some birdies can be had. We've been good at that, you know. We just got to clean up the other stuff, right? We got to clean up. We're probably gonna do a lot of the good stuff. It's just minimizing the other stuff, and hopefully we'll find ourselves in contention after 36 holes and see if we can come away on top the next time.
Well, Anthony, you said, you don't look at it as pressure, so I'm just going to tell you, I expect you to win every tournament now. So, the rest of the way.
I mean, that's a goal. Definitely.
Yes.
I mean, you got to go in with that mindset, I think.
Yes, you do. Have that mindset, no doubt. And then see where it takes you. But, man, tremendous, tremendous effort. It's a great story, Anthony. I know it wasn't, like I said, the ending you wanted last year, man, but sometimes those moments lead to even better moments, and we're seeing that early this year. Coach Fetcho, Anthony, thanks so much for taking time to come on the show, and, hey, keep having some good results, and we'll get you back here on the program, okay?
There we go. We'd love to come back in this nice new studio. Listen
Look
to
at
Anthony
this,
talk
man.
about
It's amazing.
himself.
Hey,
I mean,
not that I'm giving you ideas, but this could be a good maybe, like team meeting space for men's golf every once in a
we
while.
talking about
You get
that,
behind here, and then everybody just look at you,
Do you think Anthony could pump the team up and talk about himself a
Ooh,
little
boy,
bit?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, he's got a little bit of work to do in that category.
He does.
I'm trying.
You
yeah.
got to get a
I'm
little bit
trying.
better at your own PR a little bit and pubbing
Yeah, I'm trying to be a
yourself
bit
up,
better of a leader and everything.
I-
Like Coach, me and Coach had some chats about that. I'm trying to improve. I'm not there yet, but I'm on my way.
We may need like some of the football guys to really teach you a little bit of swagger at times.
Maybe,
Now,
actually.
Coach Hill would be like, Luke, that's
You don't
probably a
think I got
really
swag,
bad
though?
idea. I
You don't
mean,
think I got swag?
I'm not trying to say you have zero swag. We just need you to get a little bit more swag.
I'm working on
Anthony.
it.
That's all. Guys, no, it's
I make sure he's not too high, right? I make sure to bring him down.
I think you
know
do a
what I mean?
really good job to bring him down, and then of course he just feeds you with compliments
Right,
the whole
exactly.
time.
I know, right?
Whole time as
he
well.
He says, "Hey, coach, you're doing a great job with practice." I know you all heard that. When he goes back, when he's on the drive home, he's like, "I can't believe coach did that at practice. What's he thinking?
I
don't
know.
what's going on."
This is the worst practice.
We are
ever.
going to save that clip. I promise you. That will be the only thing that will be on repeat. These guys will be busy. You can follow along with all those live stats for the golf term. Again, it will be Monday, September 22nd, and Tuesday, September 23rd at the Badger Invitational in Madison, Wisconsin. Big thank you to Anthony and Coach Fetcho for stopping on by. We had Eric Moore joined earlier, Jeremiah McClellan, of course, head coach Nick Hill. Big football weekend in Cape Girardeau at SEMO. If you missed the show, it will be on replay. A big thank you to Ben McLaughlin, our producer, does everything behind the scenes here inside our studio. I used to just have to press all the buttons. Now we need help.
Wow.
Man, so
that's-
Ben kills it each and
Nice
every
job,
week.
Ben.
Yeah, Ben does an outstanding job for us, and we appreciate his help as well. So, Saluki Nation, as always, go Dogs. We'll talk to you again here this time next week.